Rabbit Hole Roundup, episode 57. LiAngelo Ball's success teaches us a very powerful lesson. So whether you guys like the song Tweaker by LiAngelo Ball or not, I think his success as a rapper can teach us a very valuable lesson about how our work ethic in one thing could translate into something else that's totally different. In today's edition of the Rabbit Hole Roundup, I'm going to be talking about that, as well as I'm also going to be talking about this idea of, should the MVP conversation carry over into the playoffs?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
Especially with how Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson will have faced off in the playoffs by the time this video comes out. And then after that, I have a bunch of very valuable posts. I have one clip from Eric Thomas that shows how 12 years of failing ultimately led to success. I have a super powerful Vince Vaughn clip, the actor, talking about why it's important not to be looking for things or for people to blame.
I'm not even going to say it, but you know I'm upset.
I have an awesome Ray Lewis clip, the former football player, talking about how greatness has no breaks. I also have a Dick Van Dyke workout clip at 99 years old, showing you how, no matter how old you are, if you want to move well as you get older, and if you want to move well at all, you have to always be treating your body right. And to finish things off, I also have an awesome Gary Vee clip talking about how all of us, no matter what situation we're in, because of the internet, we all have this powerful opportunity to make the life of our dreams and to make this incredible life. Even if we are working all day, it just comes down to where our priorities are. So without further ado, let's dive deeper now. Rabbit hole time, let's go.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know that, must mean not subscribe to the channel so you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. Follow me on every platform, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through by Jared Weiss. All links to purchase it are on my website, which is jaredryanweiss.com. It's JAREDRYANWEISS.com. Buy the book, support me. As always, any support is very much appreciated. So to start things off, I want to dive into LiAngelo Ball, aka Jello, who recently came out with this huge rap song, Tweaker. And as many of us know, he comes from a famous basketball family because his older brother Lonzo is on the Chicago Bulls, and his younger brother LaMelo is starring on the Hornets. His dad, of course, is a character and has a very interesting personality.
What's this show about again? Ain't we talking about shoes? I don't want to talk about all that. Next.
And LiAngelo himself is a very talented basketball player as well. But the super interesting thing when it comes to LiAngelo Ball is that, as we all know, he's been playing basketball his whole life. He scored 72 points in a high school game. He scored 72 points in an overseas game. He was in the G League for a little bit, but he hasn't been able to crack an NBA roster. However, he recently came out with a rap song, Tweaker, and as a result, he actually just signed a $13 million record deal with Def Jam, I'm pretty sure. So what this shows us is that your work ethic in one area of your life can apply and can translate over into other areas as well.
That makes sense to me.
So it's even if he doesn't do anything more with basketball in his life, by going after his hoop dreams, he was now able to become a successful rapper. And this is why I'm always telling everyone to just go for it. Go after all of your impossible dreams, because even if you don't make it, even if worst case scenario, you go for it and you fall flat on your face, you're still going to get something out of it, and you're going to get a whole learning experience out of it. And also, it's like how Kobe Bryant used to say that back in school, even though he didn't like it, he was always looking for ways to translate his learning in school into something that he found more useful in his life. So for instance, it could have even just been paying attention on a task. It could have been teamwork. There's always a way to make your life experience translate into whatever you want it to. And even in my own life, I've always been someone who doesn't have an off switch. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to put my all into it, and I'm going to go full force with it. And I'm going to do everything to the best of my ability, because I've always loved and I've always lived by the quote that how you do one thing is the way that you do everything. So shout out to Jello Ball. Now the next topic I want to get into is, should the playoffs count towards the MVP competition in sports, but particularly in this episode I'm going to be talking about in football?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
I think there's an argument to be made that the answer to that question is yes. Because how many times have we seen a great regular season player, someone who puts up all these numbers and all these stats, and then what does that lead to other than just a first round exit in a game where, against top level defense, the player throws 4 interceptions and doesn't look like a legit MVP? Now of course, there's something to be said for not judging a player based on one game, and I do see that, especially because I think the whole sports media actually does that way too often.
I consider that question blasphemous.
Because part of that is actually their job, I guess. Because if you're going to be filming a show every day, you have to have something to talk about. And you also have to give the super hot takes, even if they're totally nonsensical, because that's what's going to get the most views. But to say that especially in a season like this one, where you do have this tightly contested MVP contest between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, Why not actually allow them to fight for it?
Battle Royale!
I mean, I think all of us want to see the best of the best go up against each other, and I think all of us want the best candidate to win. So, like, if by the time this video comes out once again, Josh Allen will play against Lamar Jackson, can we maybe find a way to judge the MVP conversation based on how each of them play in this game, along with the body of work from the regular season? I'm not saying like I want it with 100%, but like I do think there can be an argument to be made for that. Next up, I want to share with you guys a super powerful clip from Eric Thomas, one of my favorite motivational speakers, which has to do with this one Olympic weightlifter who tried to lift for 12 years with failing and then finally got it. Let's watch together.
This Colombian weightlifter had failed for 12 years until he pulled off a miracle. His first attempt was in 2004. But he couldn't give up. Watch his next attempt in 2012.
Oh, looks easy.
Hold still. Hold still.
After 12 years in 2016, he did this.
Imagine that. 12 years of trying the same lift over and over again and failing every time. But then, like, imagine how incredible it must feel once you finally got it and once you finally succeeded. So this is why, no matter how long it's taken you,
I'm waiting, old man.
no matter how many trials and tribulations you've had to go through, no matter how many times you have to fail over and over again, the only way that you're guaranteeing that failure is going to be final is if you give up right now. But if you continue to visualize it, feel that success coming your way, know that like that success is meant for you, you can't stop, you can't quit, because the one worst thing that anyone could live with is regret. And next up, I have a super powerful Vince Vaughn clip, the famous actor, one of my all-time favorites, especially from the movie Wedding Crashers, which is like one of the funniest movies ever made.
A great band, it's a bad band, it's like pizza, baby. It's good no matter what. There's music in the air.
And shout, and you hate it a little bit.
But like the post talks about not looking for things or people to blame. Very well said here.
If you don't blame anything, you have a really good chance to do your best at whatever you're doing. If you say, oh, I didn't get enough sleep last night, or I didn't eat right this morning, or my partner's not good, the minute you give that power, you've given yourself a reason not to do well. It's almost like that movie Old Yeller. I showed that to my son. And at the end of that movie, the dog dies that he kind of first doesn't like and then he's really attached to. And the dad comes home with a new horse, there's puppies, there's a girl that might like him, and he's just focused on the dog that died. And the dad says, you got to forget it. He says, how do you forget something like that? He says, well, I don't mean that you forget it. You got to mourn it. You have to honor it. But once it's over with, there becomes a point where it's not constructive to dwell on it. And if you focus on the bad, everything in your life goes bad. You don't notice the new dog, the new horse. If you don't blame anything,
it's like, as I'm often saying, excuses are always going to be there. They're always going to be available. And some may even be valid. But that doesn't mean that you have to use them. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging the reasons why something didn't go well. There's nothing wrong with saying, had this not happened, maybe I would have had a better shot at this. But then after that, you can't dwell in the past, and you have to realize that there's always another path to get there.
There's always another way.
And there's always another way to get it done and to achieve that goal and make it happen. But if you're stuck in that blame game, if you're stuck in the victimhood game, you're ensuring that you're never going to get there. Next up, we have an awesome and super inspiring Ray Lewis clip. Ray Lewis being one of the greatest NFL linebackers of all time. And this clip has to do with greatness has no breaks.
Mentality of greatness. There are no breaks. I hate to tell people that, right? Because today's done. Everybody wants it fast. You can be popular, but to be great, Monday on top of Tuesday, Tuesday on top of Wednesday, Wednesday on top of Thursday, Thursday on top of Friday, Friday on top of Saturday, Saturday, Sunday. And start over, and start over, and start over, and start over. And true greatness is always evolving. True greatness is always evolving. It never stays the same. Your comfort zone will stay the same, unless sometimes you're forced to come out of it. You will never touch a level of greatness until your comfort zone is disturbed. A mentality.
So, greatness is a result of repeated actions done the right way consistently over and over again for as long as it takes. Now look, I don't want you to take this idea of no breaks literally as I used to.
Somehow I dozed off and woke up in a pile of garbage. Somehow, you've had an hour and 20 minutes sleep in 3 days.
But it's like in the whole social media game. Anyone can go viral for one post. But how many people can post every day for 5 years consistently over and over again without the rewards, and only after those 5 years will actually reap the fruits of their labor? How many people can work hard for one workout?
I worked out with a dumbbell yesterday. I feel vigorous.
Or practice their craft really hard one time, or make that New Year's resolution and stick to it for 1 month and be really motivated during that month. But what about the days when you're not feeling up to it? Can you still get your butt to the gym on those days? That requires a different level of commitment. So greatness and achieving your goals is a result of your habits added up over time, not just one time and not just one thing. It's a long-term mentality and a long-term game that if you're not up for that, you may as well quit right now, in whatever area it might be. Next, we have a Dick Van Dyke workout clip, 99 years old, and this guy is still crushing in the gym. This guy is 99 years old and he's still doing one-leg presses. Now this guy is one of the most talented and one of the greatest actors of all time, and for those of you who are wondering how I even know so much about him, my parents and I have watched tons of his work, whether it was the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Stomp all over people, walk all over people, goose step, Pearl Harbor, I got it, what is it? On the street where you live.
Or some of his movies over the years, but you wonder how he's still moving so well at 99 years old. It's because those habits don't stop. You've all these people out there who are complaining about their age, who are 35 or 40 years old, who are saying, I can't move as well as I used to. Your body's gonna break down as you get older. Well, have you even been moving at all? Because if you don't move it, you're gonna lose it. And if you don't work for it, how do you expect to get any results in return? And finally, in this week's edition of the Rabbit Hole Roundup, we have an awesome Gary Vee clip talking about how you can make your dream life happen if you're willing to sacrifice certain luxuries in order to prioritize your dreams.
The best life is doing what you want to do every day of your life.
Right, but someone might say that they have to make money. Not everybody has that luxury to do what they want to do every day.
This is why the internet's so awesome. If you're unhappy and you have to pay your college debt and you have to pay for your mortgage or your kids' schools, our grandparents, that just sucked. That was your life. Today, you want to really audit 7 p.m. to midnight and ask yourself, what the fuck are you doing? Because you're working 9 to 6 to pay that job. Some people work 2 jobs. I respect that. But the far majority have 5 to 7 hours that I'm fascinated by, where they watch my dumb shit, using it as escapism, which makes sense. That's how we cope as humans. But I'm so blown away that, everybody has this. And the shit that you can do on this blows my fucking face up.
My entire business is because of that.
And so if you love Star Trek and you can't do what you love because you hate your accounting job, but you collected too much debt for a fucking college degree that means dick, right? Well, guess what? You can start a Star Trek show, content play, and over the course of 3.5 years, which is a small portion of your fucking next 60 years, I just think that's remarkable. The fact that doing what you want to do or trying to is now practical because of this and the internet, only thing you have to give up now is leisure.
So, whenever someone says these days, I can't do what I want to do because I have to pay the bills, or because I have too many kids, or because I have all these other things in my life that have to get done. Now, of course, is it harder for some people than others? Yes. Everyone has responsibilities, but we all have the same 24 hours in every day. So, how are you spending, as he says, 7 o'clock to 12 p.m.? Are you spending it like someone who's going after your dreams, or are you wasting it away because you don't actually want it bad enough?
Look at you. Why don't you do something with your life?
So this is a reminder, because of our phones and because of the internet, we do have other options, and there's a path to living our dream lives. It just comes down to how hard are you willing to work for it? How much time can you devote to your dreams? Because, as the famous quote goes, if you don't go after your own dreams, you're going to be working for someone else's. So yes, I know it's hard. It's hard for me too. I've struggled with this myself because all of us do have to make money and we do have to pay the bills. But just get started on whatever it is and see where the path leads to. It may end up working out better than you ever could have imagined, but the only way you get there is by taking that first step. Take 1 extra hour every night, devote that towards your dreams. Add that up over time and you're going to get a lot of time giving back to yourself and towards what you really want, as opposed to putting it towards things that you don't really care about. Anyways, guys, I hope this episode motivated you. I hope you guys see the value in not giving up and working on yourselves. Let me know your thoughts on any of the clips I brought up in this video. Let me know your thoughts on any of the topics. Anyways, guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. I will catch you guys next time. Stay positive, stay hustling, stay grinding. Peace.